Now, we have some horrifying new revelations out of rural New Mexico and that horrible case there that the media are not showing you. According to the most recent evidence, the Wahaj family has been using their compound as a terrorist training camp for the 11 children they were holding. Agents found these handwritten letters titled Phases of a Terrorist Attack, which detail the steps to a successful suicide attack in the name of Allah. Yes, in the United States of America. Despite all that, a judge in New Mexico today decided to release 3 of the 5 defendants, ruling that authorities violated the state's 10-day rule. How do you botch that? Andy McCarthy's back with us on Thoughts, and I'm so glad you stayed, Andy, because this also has an interesting connection to the case that you worked on for the '93 World Trade Center bombing. We're going to get to that in a moment. But explain how we could get to this place where 3 of the 5 defendants are released.
Well, Laura, they made these arrests a couple of weeks ago, and I guess they've been investigating since, and they've gotten to the point where they either have to charge them in an indictment or go through what they call a probable cause or a preliminary hearing. And what I sense happened was they decided that 2 of these characters were the ringleaders, and they appear to have ratcheted up the charges on the 2 of them, and then decided perhaps that they couldn't make the case on the other 3, so they didn't go forward on those. That doesn't mean that they can't at some future time indict them, but that seems unlikely to me.
Well, and are they, I guess it doesn't matter if they're a flight risk because they're not charged with anything, but that's the concern, obviously.
Yeah,
that
well,
right?
Right. They had already been sprung on bail to begin with, which was, I think, in some ways more outrageous than what happened today, because if what happened today is just because they didn't have enough evidence on these 3 to go forward, that's one thing. But letting any of them out, I think, is insane.
Now, can you explain
any of them that you're going to charge?
No, the whole thing drives. This whole case was so hideous. What was done to those children, 1 dead. But Andy, explain your connection. We've got a minute left to this case in the '93 World Trade Center bombing.
Laura, the father of the ringleader runs a fairly notorious mosque in Brooklyn. His name is also Siraj Wahaj, and that mosque hosted the blind sheikh, who I prosecuted in the early 1990s in connection with the World Trade Center bombing and a plot to bomb New York City landmarks. He actually appeared, that is, the elder Siraj Wahaj, as a character witness for the defendants in the trial. So we're seeing, a guy who was enmeshed in this ideology back when, and here you have the results of it.
Yeah, and we're welcoming this into the United States, apparently, and then releasing people back into the system. I don't have a good feeling about this at all. Andy McCarthy, thank you so much for your insights, as always, so appreciated.